What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new post-commentary locals feature match. Here we are in round 2, and we've got yours truly on the left piling the Earth Machine strategy versus Subterrors on the right. So here goes the die roll, and unfortunately I do lose. And of course my opponent playing Subterror, they are going to decide to go first. And let's go ahead and take a look at the poll results. Ask you guys who you thought would win. About 800 votes, and 70% of the vote going to Earth Machine, and the remainder going to Guru. So let's see if you guys are correct this time around. So my opponent is going to start off with the duality, revealing City, Extrav, and Nibiru. And I believe they already have both not Extrav, but Nibiru and Hidden City in their hands. So they are going to take the Extrav. So when I saw him take the Extrav, I thought that was a little suspicious, if I'm being totally honest, because like it's a card he can't even use this turn. Hidden City is pretty crazy, so the fact he's not taking it tells me he already has one. And he doesn't really know if Nibiru is good against my deck or not, so I totally get it if he doesn't take it. So, and as expected, he does have Hidden City. Hidden City grabs Guru, he sets Guru, Hidden City, flip it up, search another card, grabs the final battle. Now, a lot of you guys know that I'm going to be playing Speedroid come Synchro Storm, but for this particular locals, I really didn't have a deck to play. Didn't want to play Speedroid pre-Synchro Storm because, well, it's just not the same, and it's not as fun as playing post-Synchro Storm, so I figured I'd hop back on the old Earth Machine deck, and boy, was it so much fun. I love this deck to death. It's so good, and it's just such a fun deck to play. I had an absolute blast playing it at this locals. And you know, if Speedroids wasn't a thing, I'd definitely be playing Earth Machines 100%. But my opponent is going to pass, obviously, after setting 2. I start my turn with going ahead and activating a Heavy Forward, which is going to resolve to search me none other than Infinitrack Harvester. When Infinitrack Harvester is no longer special summon, it can go ahead and search out an Infinitrack from the deck to the hand. And it can also manipulate levels too for Xyz plays. So I'm going to normal summon the Harvester effect. My opponent could possibly have a Fiendus here. But the thing about Fiendus against this deck is like it doesn't hurt so much as a hand trap like Gamma does, because Fiendus actually doesn't destroy the card that it negates, which is huge. Because I already have a Dozer in my hand, so like this Harvester's kind of, you know, if he Fienduses it, he Fienduses it. If he Imperms it or Ashes it, whatever. It's just going to be him wasting an interruption. And it's also just going to be Talents Fuel because I do have a Talents in hand. And I believe currently I only know 2 cards that he has. I know he has the Final Battle, and I would also know that he has the Extrav in hand. The other cards are unknown at this point. But I believe we as the spectator know that he has another duality, a Nibiru in hand, and a Fiendus. So here I have Bullet in hand because I am actually playing higher accounts of both Bullet and Derek Crane in this current build. Just because like seeing level 10s in the opening hand is just bar none better than the times where you don't, because it gives you more freedom of what you can search off of your River Stormer, allows you to make rank 10s more often, which lets you end on a better end board, helps you going second, just lets you extend overall. Chain block with Derek Crane, like there's almost no downside. And it also allows you to do shenanigans like this, using Harvester, targeting Bullet to go ahead and make them both level 12, to go ahead and hard summon Zeus turn 1. Like absolutely crazy here. And I could also attach Heavy Forward to the Zeus to give it a 3rd material. I was trying to think there's maybe a way I could get like the 4th material under it. There technically is a way. I'd have to like Heavy Forward equip right now, and then Dozer tribute off the Fortress, and then link into a Goliath, and then send, and then Goliath effect to attach to the Zeus, and then I have another material, but I wouldn't be able to immediately chain, unfortunately. So I just decided to go ahead and pitch Fortress and Trencher here to go into the battle phase to attack into the Guru, because I'm trying to get rid of that Fiendus, like, or make the Fiendus not live at this point, or just try to force something, like force the final battle here. I want to make him use cards before I go ahead and use this Zeus, because I don't want to just 1-for-1 trade. I want to make him use a little bit more, you know, effects here. So he is going to go ahead and use the effect in damage step here to boost the attack and defense of his Guru by the attack and defense. So going up to 3,400 defense, I believe. So I will take a whopping 900. And for a second, I almost thought my monster gets destroyed by this, but it doesn't. Because it's attacking defense position monster. So yeah, we immediately correct that. Basic Yu-Gi-Oh there, almost forgetting, but you know, it happens, right? It happens. So from here, in main phase 2, I decide to go ahead and activate Zeus, because I know if nothing else is going to force out a Fiendus, Zeus is going to, and I strategically do that in the main phase 2 for the triple tactics talent. So I go ahead and take a look at his hand, which is what I should have done in hindsight. I actually don't use the talents right now, which is questionable, right? But there's no reason not to use it, I don't think. I guess I was under the assumption that like he didn't have any more interruptions. Like he already had Final Battle, already had Fiendus. Like I'm pretty much clear to keep going. So I go ahead and actually resolve Dozer. And I figured at this point I have 1, 2, 3. I'm actually only on 4 summons at this point, so he couldn't even Nibiru me yet. So I could have and should have taken a look at his hand, but I decided not to for some reason. Again, there's really no rhyme or reason as to why I didn't talents yet. I just didn't do it. Should I have? Yes. Is there pretty much any reason not to do it? No, not really. So Dozer, main phase 2, tripping off the fortress, summoning out Tunneler. But, you know, even if he does have Nibiru at this point, like, I have enough pieces in grave that I can keep going. Bullet's already in the grave. I already have access to Tunneler Trencher, right? I can still keep comboing even through the Nibiru, so it's completely fine. So we'll go ahead and calculating the token stats right now. And this is going to pose a problem for our Subterror player anyways. Because like they're very limited into what they can actually get over in like terms of like cards like in the battle phase. You know, Final Battle can only really help things get so high, but Nibiru tokens oftentimes tend to have higher attack sets than they can actually get over. So he's going to rely on something like Umastrix or Relinquished Anima, which I don't believe he was actually playing at this current point. So he's going to go ahead and summon the token in defense. I think the stats are like 8,000 something, 7,000 something defense, like really huge. So here I go ahead, you know what, I'm like, I'm just going to use the talents now because like I might as well just rip the extravagance out of his hand and leave him top decking. Now that I've also managed to clear the Guru off the field because he was actually able to Nibiru and get rid of it. So I guess that's like one positive in all of this is like letting him use the Nibiru. It clears his own Guru. So like it could have definitely been worse, but you know, I should have just gotten rid of the Nibiru in his hand beforehand. Because I did probably have alternate ways to get rid of it. Or maybe not. I don't know. But either way, we're going to go ahead and use Trencher here. Trencher's going to bring out Harvester. And we're just going to go ahead and link the Harvester into a Goliath. And I go for this because I just want to have an overdrive target live. Because I don't have any Earth Machines on board. And then main phase 2, we're going to go ahead and, or not in main phase 2, but end phase, activate Bullet to go ahead and recycle the Harvester back to my hand for follow-up. And my opponent actually, crazy enough, draws Extrav for turn. So, like, put Extrav back, draws it for turn. I guess it's better than, you know, me not hitting the Extrav and him having Extrav plus his draw for turn. So, you know, it could be worse. So my opponent goes and draws 2 here. I believe he actually drew 2 hidden cities off of that. So talk about very unlikely things to happen. Then he goes ahead and activates the set duality, Reeling Strike, D-Shifter, Necro Valley. D-Shifter's a little late here. Necro Valley, a little late too, to be totally honest, although it will stop my Tunneler. And Trencher's already been exhausted too at this point, so that's kind of missed its window. Because I was also actually currently experimenting with playing 1 Trencher. Because I wanted to like free up another slot in the main deck for another going second card, like Talents or Droplets. So like I decided I'd go ahead and put Trencher to 1 because that's something I've seen like a lot of other decks try. I've always been a fan of double Trencher just because of the late game and the grind game. But the entire tournament, I didn't really miss the second one. Of course, more testing is required than just 4 rounds at locals. But, you know, like, in theory, I think it could definitely be fine. And I could see why most people are on 1. But one thing I do not understand is why anybody would play 2 Metal Cruncher. Like, do people just not like 1-card combos? Like, do people like not opening a starter Earth Machine? Like, I just don't understand. Like, at worst, you draw an extra Cruncher, and it's just discard fodder for Fortress. Like, or, you know, redeployment. Like, the card's crazy. I don't know why. Like, it's one of the highest ceiling openers in the deck, too. Like, if you open Cruncher Dozer, you can just reveal level 10 extenders or fortresses or whatever it may be. Like, card's insane. I don't know why anybody would play 2 of it. But enough of me ranting here. My opponent's going to go ahead and set the Guru here. And I'm going ahead and activate the overdrive at this point, just so I can get Cruncher out in the field. I think I go Chainlink 1 Cruncher, Chainlink 2 Citadel. And I'm not worried about Fiendus because, again, he has no monsters to be able to set right now, so this can resolve freely. Cruncher effect is going to go ahead and activate here to reveal 3. I think I just reveal 3 level 10s. Or no, I don't actually have Citadel access at this point. Because I was debating on, like, you know, do I just go for Citadel here, or do I go for Cruncher and just add more follow-up? Because I know my opponent's not killing me this turn. So I might as well use the Cruncher here to get me more advantage going into my next turn. And that's exactly what I do. So I reveal 3 level 10s, I think 2 Derricks and a Bullet, because no matter what I get, you know, it's just going to help me push for a game next turn anyways. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and see him flip up the Guru. Guru's going to go ahead and search. And, like, arguably, like, I could have gotten Citadel, and then when he flipped up the Guru, I could have chained Citadel to go ahead and blow up his field. But then he still gets the search of a Subterra card. But, like, I guess I just felt like I wasn't in a position where I needed to do that, so I just went ahead for the Cruncher. So, like, I mean, I definitely could have played that differently there, but I think this works either way, just because my opponent is not getting over the token right now. I mean, maybe he could have, like, gone and grabbed Umastrix, but I think with, like, the Nibiru on his field, that's not going to be possible, because I think everything on his field needs to be set, or when something is specifically set. And he's also going to go ahead and opt to play the Necro Valley anyways over top of the Hidden City, so that's going to do it for his turn. And passing it over to me, where I think I drew a Dozer for turn, I want to say. I definitely drew a monster. It's hard for me to tell currently. Yeah. Or no, I think I might have drawn Bullet. I think I might have drawn Bullet here, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, so we're just going to try to apply a lot of pressure this turn and probably go for a game here. Again, I still know he has the final battle set, which really isn't that big of a deal. I have the Derek Crane to come in very clutch here to chain block Harvester to make sure he cannot Fiendus it. And right now it's either use it or lose it. Not really. Like, it's not use or lose it for the Fiendus. Like, he could hold it, but like, it might be a little too late at that point, I guess, if he holds it. Because I mean, I don't have a Trencher Engrave, but I do have Tunneler, and I do have Overdrive access as well, so I could easily just, like, go put those back, draw another card. I also have access to Fortress Engrave too, which I can actually still summon Fortress under Necro Valley. I actually had to look up the current errata of the card because my opponent was playing, like, I think one of the oldest copies of Necro Valley. But the current copy of Necro Valley says negate any effect that would move a card out of the graveyard. And I think negate any effect that would, like, banish a card out of the graveyard, something like that. Like, but, like, Fortress doesn't activate. That's the key thing here. Fortress does not activate. And not even that it doesn't activate. It's not an effect to summon. It's a summoning condition. You just pitch cards, it special summons itself. So Fortress can still actually activate under Necro Valley, which is actually kind of insane here. So Necro Valley really not doing anything other than turning off my my Tunneler. And I'm actually going to look up the current Necro Valley errata on my phone, just so I can make sure that I actually have it, you know, on my phone and be able to read exactly word for word what I can and can't do under actual Necro Valley. Because the card has actually been errated so many times, like, a lot of people don't know that. Necro Valley's effect has been changed, like, I want to say, like, probably 5+ times over the years. I don't know why, but it's just been changed multiple times. So I go ahead and pitch Derek Crane, summon Fort here. And this is a point where he probably should have held the Fiendus, but, like, my opponent really didn't know what my deck did, to be totally honest. And, like, even then, there are still plays that can be made if he stops the level manipulation effect. It's not really that big of a deal anyways. But it is going to allow me access to the Earth Slicer, which is going to pop 3, and my opponent's going to immediately concede on that, which is completely understandable. A massive board wipe against a control deck like that is just going to be game most of the time anyways. And, like, even if I couldn't get access to Slicer, I could still have gone Battle Phase, Crash Fortress into his Nibiru, and gone Fortress effect to pop his Necro Valley, and then activate Overdrive, and then possibly activate the Tunneler Engrave, and then draw, like, 3 cards right there and make even more plays. So yeah. And I still have the Nibiru token in attack, or I could put the Nibiru token in attack position too and swing in for a lot of damage. So yeah, definitely had a lot of plays there to make, even just through one Fiendus. So here we're on game 2, and as we get started in game 2, I want to mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. That's where you can get the playmat I'm using from. They sell all sorts of beautiful playmats and amazing deck boxes and dice and more, sleeves, high quality stuff from Imperium. Check them out at the link below. And do not forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order, and you support the channel in the process. And lastly, if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please feel free to use my affiliate link to them down in the description of all my videos. If you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel for cards you're already going to be buying at no extra cost to you. So, not too much has happened so far. My opponent led with a Hidden City, and I decided, you know what? I usually would like wait for the Guru, but I'm not like chancing him having Fiendus, so I'm just gonna go ahead and actually Ash the Hidden City, and right. If he doesn't have anything else, he doesn't have anything else. And lo and behold, he didn't. Just sets one and goes ahead and passes. I start with a Cruncher. I've already got Dozer in hand, so I can reveal 3 level 10s, 2 Deracranes, and a Bullet. So, like, at this point, my opponent doesn't have anything impactful. I could probably try to OTK so long as my River Stormer search goes through, because I do have the Deracrane. I've also got Fortress in hand, plus another Dozer. So, Dozer effect here. I could have also technically gone for the rank 9 combo, but I didn't want to like play into like extra things like hand traps and Nibiru. I wanted to go for sort of the standard route here because like I have game if my Stormer resolves, so I'm basically, you know, putting on my opponent to be like, you need something to stop this, or I'm going to get Bullet, summon Bullet, make Gustav burn, go for leave, that's going to be game. Right, a lot less actions, a lot less stuff I have to actually commit to go for that board, as opposed to the rank 9 play where you do have to commit quite a bit. The only time I'd probably ever go for the rank 9 play is like if I started with Cruncher and also had like Harvester and Fortress in hand, and my opponent like Ashed or Veilered the Cruncher and I had a Talents and I got to look at their hand and like hit anything out of their hand, then I would probably go for it, because I know at that point it's resolving 100%. I can take, you know, another card out of the hand with the Ender Blathnir. But my opponent does have the Imperm, which is going to come in very, very clutch and keep him from losing the game on the spot here. So I'm deciding, you know, what is the next course of action? You know, I obviously can't go into Gaia Charger and Zeus because I'm locked into Earth Machines. So I think I actually link the River Stormer into Goliath, and then link Goliath and the Deracrane into the Ballista effect. Go ahead and search out box. Well, first I use the River Stormer Engraved, tribute off the Goliath, and then link off the River Stormer again to get another Goliath into the graveyard. Just trying to load up the graveyard with those names, so I can go ahead and dig deeper into the deck with a card like Tunneler. So there's Ballista effect, search out box effect, add Tunneler, etc., etc. And I've also got Order in the main deck too. I had cards like that in just like going first or second anyways, just because like if I see Order even going second, I can turn off Hidden City completely. I can turn off any of his consistency spells, Cave Clash, Floodgates like Necro Valley, things like that are just going to be really, really solid. Or even like blowout cards if he's playing them, like you know, Lightning Storm or Dark Ruler, Droplet, whatever it may be. Because I like didn't side much here, because like I think outside of just like Twin Twisters, like I didn't really side in much. So we go ahead and link into a third and final Goliath, Trencher Effect Engrave, and we go ahead and link off the Tunneler and the Goliath. The last one for Anger Knuckle, Tunneler Effect, returning 5, 3 Goliath, and the Ballista back to the extra deck to recycle and draw 2. And at this point, I'm just trying to see like if there's any way I could possibly get game on board. I think the only way I think I could get game on board is if I had access to like multiple fort and I like drew a Bullet or something. That's like the only way I'm going for a game here. But unfortunately that did not happen. So I just summoned out fort by pitching itself in box, go battle phase, attacking for 4,000. Basically putting my opponent on a 1-turn clock here. He needs to draw something, he needs to draw a monster. And I've also still got a Dozer in hand, an Imperm, and also a Talents too, which I unfortunately did not get to use because, as we know, Imperm's a pretty solid card. And yeah, I do not have access to Bullet right here, which hurts the most. So maybe I made a slight error when I was revealing for my cruncher. I probably should have revealed 2 bullet, 1 Daracrane, because getting the bullet to the hand is a little bit more important than it is to get something like Daracrane. That kind of be something like you can get after the fact. So maybe that was a little bit of an error on my part. So my opponent goes ahead and Kaijus over my Knuckle, so I don't even get a chance to use it there. Not a big deal, because Knuckle is just as much a resource on field as it is in grave, and vice versa. So he summons the Kumungus, and then activates Terraforming. We all know what this is going to get. Probably another copy of Hidden City. He's going to slap Hidden City over top of Hidden City. Hidden City effect, go search out Guru, set Guru, flip up Guru, and I'm probably going to just hit that with Imperm and put him on having a Fiendus at that point. And if he does have a Fiendus, like, that kind of limits as what, you know, he can actually go ahead and search off of the Guru. That's just one thing. It's like always trying to hit the Guru if you can, and if they have Fiendus, they have Fiendus, right? But then again, like, it limits what they can go ahead and search off of that. Because if he wants more protection on the following turn, he's going to have to search another Fiendus. So he goes Fiendus, negate Imperm, resets the Guru, and I think he actually ends up getting another Guru, or not Guru here, but another Fiendus. And yeah, if he can't put up a board, probably just going to be game next turn anyway, so long as he doesn't have any hand traps like Nibiru, which I probably can put game on board under 5 if I'm being really careful. I also don't really care too much because I have talents in hand, so like if he does have a hand trap, like, better be very high impact. He's going to summon out a Godarla that he has in hand, because I control a Kaiju. Battle phase, attack over 300. Obviously doesn't want to attack the Fortress because that'll trigger Fortress. Pass turn. And I think I draw a heavy forward for turn, which is just, oh my god. Talk about an insane top deck here. That's going to go grab me Harvester effect. Go ahead and search out a Dozer from the deck, or a Drill from the deck here. Since my Trencher and Tunneler are both banished. And at this point, this is probably where I wish I had, like, access to an Overdrive to get access to, like, you know, my Trencher and Tunneler back in the deck, but I really just don't even need that here. Harvester effect, target Fortress, make them both level 9, and attach the heavy forward to it, pop 3 with the Slicer, and I just need to go ahead and summon out Fortress from the grave by pitching the bullet that I have in hand, and that's actually just going to be a game right there on the spot. But I go ahead and pitch the Drill and the Dozer anyways for game, so yeah. That ends up being game. Earth Machine taking it 2-0. Looks like you guys were correct in the polls yet again. And if you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And as always, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members. And they are Cadillacs84, Pony Start, Key Sigers, Tweeter0226, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much for your extremely generous support.